What's up, YouTube? T Movies here with the new film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood hitting theaters this week. Since the film is about Hollywood and all, I decided to do my top 10 favorite other movies that's all about Hollywood. Whether it's about making movies or this film about like finding yourself in Hollywood and all that. So with that being said, here's my 10 favorite movies. Pretty much my 10 favorite movies about Hollywood. I gotta be more specific and not say Hollywood movies because there's lots of Hollywood budget films, but this movie's about Hollywood, so. Alright, coming in at number 10 is going to be the film Hitchcock. Now, this is, of course, the movie about the making of Psycho, and it stars Anthony Hopkins, who gives a tremendous performance as famed Psycho director Alfred Hitchcock. And you got Helen Mirren, who plays his wife. You had Scarlett Johansson as Psycho star Janet Leigh. You had Jessica Biel in this. Really great film, and it's pretty much a movie about the making of a movie. And it's really good. Like, I'm always fascinated about movies about the making of what goes into making a movie and all, and that's what Hitchcock really is. And Anthony Hopkins, I thought he really he really embodied the role of Alfred Hitchcock, and he played that role pretty perfectly. And Helen Mirren, I believe she scored an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. But Hitchcock is. I mean, the whole film, of course, takes place in Hollywood, and it's really. It's really good. It's probably maybe one of my favorite Anthony Hopkins performances. Like, he was a great Alfred Hitchcock. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Hitchcock yet, definitely check it out. Alright, coming in at number 9 is going to be Robert Zemeckis' film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, the film is pretty much about Hollywood's animated cartoons of the 1940s, and in it, it's where Roger Rabbit ends up being framed for the murder of a human nightclub owner named Marvin Acme. And so Bob Hoskins plays the private detective Eddie Ballant, who agrees to clear Roger and find and tries to find the real killer and all. And you got Christopher Lloyd in this. He was great. You got a couple of cool classic cartoon characters. Roger. I mean, it's a film that mixed cartoon with live action, and Space Jam did it pretty good. But I really like how Who Framed Roger Rabbit, how they interpreted cartoons with in the real world. And this has some pretty cool cartoon characters in it. And Bob Hoskins, I mean, he was great. Of course, you had Jessica Rabbit in this, voiced by Kathleen. Of course, Kathleen Turner voiced Jessica Rabbit. I mean, lots of people have a weird crush on Jessica Rabbit. I mean, that is probably one of the most gorgeous cartoon characters there is. But anyway, if you guys never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit by now, I mean, the film, of course, takes place in Hollywood and all, but it's a really good one. I mean, directed by Robert Zemeckis, and Bob Hoskins is great. Definitely check. I mean, Roger Rabbit is a scene stealer. It has some really funny lines. Definitely check out Who Framed Roger Rabbit if you guys haven't seen it. All right. Now, coming in at number 8 is another mystery film that takes place in L.A., and that will be L.A. Confidential, which is actually scripted by Shane Black, who of course gave us Nice Guys, and the film is also directed by the late great Curtis Henson, and it's a really interesting police film, and we're three policemen which who both have each motive and obsessions, tackle the corruption surrounding and tries to solve the murder of a downtown Los Angeles cafe during the 1950s. And you got Guy Pearce as detective You got Guy Pearce as a detective, Lieutenant Exley, who's like the son of a murdered detective who like wants to avenge his father's killing. And you got like an ex partner. He has also has an ex partner named Officer White, played by Russell Crowe, who also wants to track down the killer. Then you got Kevin Spacey in this as Sergeant Menzies, and you also got Danny DeVito as like a tabloid magnate. I mean, it's really great. It's a great crime film. It's a great mystery murder thriller. I mean, it's also like a film noir. It's a film noir tale. I mean, it's a really great film. It's a great cast. I mean, you also had Kim Basinger, who was kind of like a Scouser. I mean, great, such a really sounding cast. I mean, LA Confidential is probably one of my favorite crime movies of the '90s as well. I mean, it's a really good one. Like, it has lots of twists and turns around. It's also based on a book as well, so there's that. I mean, if you guys never seen LA Confidential yet, go check that one out. It's a really good one. Okay. Coming in at number 7 is going to be a black and white classic. And that is Sunset Boulevard. And the film is like about a aging silent film queen who refuses to accept that her stardom has ended. So she ends up hiring like a young screenwriter to help her to bring her to make her movie come back. So like the screenwriter believes that he can manipulate her. So he soon finds out what is wrong and all that. So the screenwriters are about try to set their relationship and her willingness and her unwillingness to let go of leads and all. There's
my friend from Georgia. Yeah. He knows all the kids down south. Yeah. Great every time.
There's violence, madness, and deafness. I mean, of course, it features a classic line, "I'm ready for my close-up now" and stuff.
That's because he goes to Georgia, like a lot of.
And it was also directed by Billy Wilder. I mean, great filmmaker.
The thing is, we're in LA for training.
And
we're in LA for full time, so.
It also features.
I've had a great time.
Sorry, guys. Anyway.
Weekends are free, weekdays are
it also featured Gloria Swanson, William Holden was in this, Nancy Olsen, Cicely B. DeMille was great in this. Really great movie. I mean, it's a great sad and tragic love story about the forgotten film, silent film era. And Sunset Boulevard it's of course got released in the 40s. I mean, it's pure. It's a pure black and white. I mean, it has some really classic lines in it. I mean, if you guys never seen us. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, Sunset Boulevard is definitely probably one of the best movies of the 1940s. I mean, it's iconic. It's a classic. It has some really iconic lines. And I mean, if you guys never really seen Sunset Boulevard yet, definitely check Sunset Boulevard. It's a really classic one.
Oh, we did. That's good.
All right, coming in at number 6 is going to be La La Land. I mean, this is the music of romance where Sebastian, played by where a jazz player named Sebastian, played by Ryan Gosling, who ends up being in love with a singer, with a struggling singer named Mia, played by Emma Stone, who are drawn together by their common desires to do what they love and all, and they of course find love with each other. I mean, in jazz and music, and Of course, the whole movie takes place in Hollywood. I mean, this is like a, I guess you could say this is like a love letter to Hollywood. And it's a really good one. It has really great music in it. I mean, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone both dazzling this, you know. Anyway, he also had John Legend in this. He was great. Uh, some of the best music in this. I mean, it actually ended up being one of my favorite movies of 2016. I just really adore this film. You know, Damien Chazelle's like follow-up to Whiplash is just amazing. I mean, the movie literally almost won Best Picture, but of course, if you guys remember, it ended up losing out to Moonlight, which was okay too. I mean, Moonlight was good, but I still sort of preferred La La Land. But still, La La Land is a really fabulous and fantastic movie. Like, if you guys still never seen it, go check it out. I mean, it's pretty much like a love letter to jazz, it's a love letter to Hollywood, to and all that. It's really great. All right, coming in at number 5 is going to be James Franco's directing film, The Disaster Artist, which stars James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, who of course infinitely starred in the movie The Room. So this is like a movie. So this is like a movie about the making of Room, or I should say The Room. Room is a totally different film. But anyway, yeah, the Disaster Artist is a really great one. Like you had Dave Franco who plays Tommy Wiseau's co-star Greg Sestero. You also had Seth Rogen in this. I mean, really great cast, and it's a really great one. It was one of my favorite. It ended up being one of my favorite movies of 2017. I mean, it's also based on a book. Not to mention, I mean, James Franco also really embodied the role of Tommy Wiseau. I mean, I thought James Franco was really good as Tommy, and I really love this movie. It's also really funny. It's also a love letter to Hollywood, and kind of like how I said with with the Hitchcock talk, I do love movies about movies about making movies and all, and that's what the Disaster Artist is, and yeah, it's really fantastic. Like, definitely go check out the Disaster Artist if you guys haven't seen it. All right. Okay. Anyway, coming in at number 4 is going to be The Aviator, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio as a famed billionaire and aviation tycoon Howard Hughes, who's also a big director of Hollywood projects, and he also has like a passionate love for Hollywood leading ladies like Katharine Hepburn, played by Kate. Hepburn was played by Kate Blanchett, while Ava Gardner was played by Kate Beckinsale. And this is also a real love movie about Hollywood. Like, this is really like, I guess you could say it's like another love letter to Hollywood. And The Aviator is probably one of my favorite Scorsese movies. Leonardo DiCaprio at the height of his career was great. Like, I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was a great Howard Hughes. And this, like, the whole movie, of course, takes place like in the 40s, like the olden time of Hollywood, and they made this movie look so much realistic, like how Hollywood was. And yeah, The Aviator is a really good one. Like, if you guys still haven't seen it, go check that one out. All right, coming in at number 3 is going to be Ed Wood. Now, The Disaster Artist was a movie about a Hollywood filmmaker making a bad movie. Well, Ed Wood was the same thing. The movie Ed Wood is about this strange film director named Edward Wood, who made some pretty horrendous, horrible bad movies. Like, I mean, Ed Wood was like his films was not all that good. Like, he made Plan B from Outer Space, and he's made some not so great movies and all. Like, he was like the old bull of that era. But Ed Wood is great. Like, you had You had Marlon Landau as famed Bela Lugosi. You also had
No way.
you had Bill Murray in this, Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, such a great movie. The film was like also full on black and white. It was directed by Tim Burton. Really fabulous, great film. I mean, Johnny Depp was a great Ed Wood, and Ed Wood he was a strange director, and they really interpreted of how weird of a director he was. And yeah, Ed Wood is really great. I mean, the movie takes place, in the golden age of Hollywood, and I mean, it really showcased on the olden Hollywood days, and yeah, it's a really great film. I mean, if you guys never seen Ed Wood, directed by Tim Burton, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, if you guys haven't seen Tim Burton's Ed Wood yet, check that one out. It's really good. All right, coming in at number 2 is going to be the Robert Downey Jr. film Chaplin. Now, here Robert Downey Jr. plays the role of famed silent movie star Charlie Chaplin, and I really like Robert Downey Jr. as Chaplin. He really embodied on who Charlie Chaplin was. It really went on in depth of who he was and all. The film was also directed by Richard Attenborough, who did a pretty decent job at directing. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. scored an Oscar nomination for his performance and a well-deserving nomination. And also you had the likes of Anthony Hopkins was in this, Dan Aykroyd, Marissa Tomei. Really great cast. I mean, it was actually really before Iron Man and all, this was actually the movie that really put Downey Jr. on the map for most people. I mean, the guy's done movies before Chaplin, but this was really the film that really made lots of people become a Robert Downey Jr. fan. And it's a really terrific movie. I mean, I think Robert Downey Jr. probably should have won his Oscar for this, but I can't remember who he left out to. But if you guys never had a chance to check out Chaplin, I mean, if you guys want to learn more about Charlie Chaplin, I mean, this is definitely a film for you. I mean, I do love movies about this, I do love films about Hollywood and about actors and all that. And Chaplin was a really great one. Definitely go check out Chaplin if you guys haven't seen it. All right, my number one favorite movie about Hollywood is going to be another movie about a silent film star, and that is the classic musical "Singing in the Rain." Now this film is about where these two actors who were silent film stars, named Dan and Lena, has pretty much been cast repeatedly as a romantic couple. So when their latest film is remade into musical only, Don has had the voice for the new singing part after a lot of practice with the diction coach. And you got Lena, who also sounds terrible, and you also got Kathy, who's a bright young aspiring actress who was hired to record over her voice and all. The film stars Gene Kelly, the late great Debbie Reynolds was in this. And I mean, the movie actually got it was also directed by Gene Kelly, and and believe it or not, right? Right now, believe it or not, the movie actually holds up 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, you know how rare it is for movies to get 100%, and that's what Singing in the Rain got. It also has a couple of classic, iconic songs. Great singing by Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds. I mean, it also has Arthur Freed. Also, like, was one of the composers. It had a really great script. I mean, it was a great little gem. And it's probably my favorite. I haven't seen a whole lot of Gene Kelly movies, but this is probably my favorite Gene Kelly film he's done. And also, Donna O'Connor was also great in this. Gene Hagen was great as well. I mean, really great movie. I mean, great singing performances, great performances all around. Like, definitely go check out Singing in the Rain if you guys haven't seen it. You won't be disappointed. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Hitchcock. 9. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. 8. LA Confidential. 7. Sunset Boulevard. 6. La La Land. 5. The Disaster Artist. 4. The Aviator. 3. Ed Wood. 2. Chaplin. 1. Singing in the Rain. Yeah. Sorry about that. Someone was talking about the Picard series, and I just had to chime in. But anyway. Alright, other films about Hollywood. Hail Caesar is a good one. The Player, the Oscar-winning movie The Artist, Entourage, Hollywoodland is a good one. Barton Fink, A Star is Born, both the original and the remake. Tropic Thunder, Get Shorty, Citizen Kane is a good one. I probably could have got that one. Mulholland Drive, Stand-In, The Big Picture, State and Maine. Lots of really good movies about Hollywood here. But let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite movies about Hollywood? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies. Signing.